Ayan, so next is our nominal accounts. Sabi natin before, there are two classifications of accounts. You have your real accounts, which includes your asset, liability, and then equity. And then you have your nominal account, which is inclusive of income and then expense. So, ang titingnan naman natin ngayon yung nominal accounts. So, I told you before that these accounts are temporary. And then, sabi natin, income, yung mga kinikita natin, and then expense, these are the costs that we incur in order for us to have our income para kikita tayo. So, ito yung mga costs natin. Halimbawa, yung mga examples na listed dyan sa notes ninyo. You have your sales. Alam natin ang sales, benta. Yun, so sales. This usually exists in merchandising and manufacturing business. Another one, service. Service income, because we know that income could either come from sales or could either come from service or both. Pwedeng both. Yun, pwedeng yung dalawa, yung panggagalingan ng income natin by rendering service and then by selling inventories. So, usually, ito yung kinikita ng mga doctors, attorneys, and then CPAs, engineers. Just by rendering your service, yun, papasok yung income that is considered as a service income. Next, you have your professional fees. Again, very evident yan sa doktor. Kung pupunta ka sa hospital, i-check mo yung bill mo, one of the things that you're going to pay is the professional fee. Sinilip ka lang, professional fee na yon. So, professional fee of a doctor. And then, another thing, you have your interest income. So, sa interest income, alam natin na ito yung kinita ng mga pera na pinahiram natin. Halimbawa, nagpahiram tayo ng 100,000. Usapan natin sa debtor. At the end of the year, kasi 1 year niya nababayaran. At the end of the year, magbibigay siya ng 5% na interest. So, that is an example of interest income. So, if 100,000 yung pinautang natin, times 5%, that is 5,000. Yun, 5,000. 5,000 will go to your interest income. Another example of income is rent. Rent income. Ito yung nakikita natin just by leasing our property. So, halimbawa, we have our own building, pinaparent natin sa mga estudyante, and then that is an example of your rent income. Yung pera na pumapasok doon, that is considered as your rent income. And then, gain on sale of sale of asset. Ito, mag-i-exist siya kung nagbenta tayo ng asset and then the selling price is higher than the book value or yung value na naka-record sa books natin. Example, we have a piece of land. And then, in our books, it is recorded that the cost of this land is 1,500,000. So, this is the book value. Kapag sabi na book value, ito yung value ng asset or ng accounting element na nag-a-appear sa books natin. That's why book value. Ito yung nag-a-appear sa books natin. However, sinubukan natin na ibenta siya ng we tried to sell it at 1,800,000. Ibig sabihin, yung book value natin 1,500, nabenta natin ng 1,800, we have a gain of 300,000. Ito, papasok dyan sa gain on sale of asset. Yun, so, those are some of the common na income na may encounter natin in accounting. So, another thing is your expense. Sabi natin, our expense, these are the costs related in the production of our profit or income. So, ano yung mga example na binigay dyan sa atin? Cost of sales. Cost of sales. May sales, and then you have your cost of sales. Ang cost of sales, ito yung talaga na cost ng product na binibenta natin. Kasi, alangan naman na magkakandak tayo ng business, kung magkano yung pinambili natin, yun yung price na ibibigay natin. Gagawa or maglalagay tayo ng markup ng patong para kikita yung business. So, yung cost of sales, ito yung talagang cost ng product na binenta natin. For example, one of our common inventory is shoes. Sabihin na natin na we are a shoe store. So, ang main product natin is shoes. Marikina shoes. Nabili natin yung shoes na binenta natin 10,000 pesos. However, para kikita yung business, tsaka pang-cover ng transportation expense like that, nagdagdag tayo ng 10%. So, 10%. Magkano ang 10% ng 10,000? I think that is 1,000. So, ang mag-a-appear sa sales natin is 11,000. But this is inclusive of markup. Yun. And then yung 10,000, ito yung mag-a-appear sa cost of sales natin. Yung talagang value ng inventory na binibenta natin. The real value. Na tayo lang nakakaalam. Ay mag-a-appear din sa report natin. Another example. Supplies expense. Ito yung mga supplies na nagamit natin during the period. Yung prepaid supplies, yun yung supplies na nabili natin, pero hindi pa natin nakukonsume. And then, yung supplies expense, ito yung mga supplies na nabili natin, na nakonsume na natin, nagamit natin. Halimbawa, one nature of our business is printing. So, kailangan natin ng madaming papel. Bumili tayo at the beginning of the year ng 100 ream ng bond paper. At the end of the year, nagamit natin 50 reams of bond paper. Yun yung mag-a-appear sa supplies expense natin, yung 50. And then, yung prepaid supplies natin, since may natitira na 50, yun naman yung mag-a-appear sa prepaid supplies. And then another one, salaries and wages expense. So, ito yung mapupunta sa mga employees natin. Employees, inclusive of the janitor, rank and file, yung mga manager, basta yung mga tauhan natin na nabayaran at during the period na nakatulong sa atin in producing our income. And then another one, you have your insurance expense. So, ito yung part ng insurance na nagamit na natin, na-consume na natin. And then, you have your taxes and licenses. So, ito yung expense din na nababayaran natin sa BIR and then sa pag-process ng mga papers natin. Registration and all. So, that is your taxes and licenses. So, those are examples of your expense account. However, We also have what you call your estimates. Estimates, bakit? Kasi hindi natin makukuha yung actual. So, there are two expense na na-estimate during the accounting period. One is your doubtful accounts, or also known as your bad debts. And then, another one is your depreciation expense. Sa doubtful accounts, ang sinasabi dyan, at the end of the year, nag-i-estimate tayo ng portion ng receivable natin, yung collectible natin, yung mga pautang natin. Nag-i-estimate tayo ng portion na hindi natin makukolekta. But of course, yung estimate natin is based on what we see or based on past transactions. Last year, we have a total collectible amount of 5 million. And then as per experience, 10% of this is not collected. That is, I think, 50,000. 10% of 5 million, hindi natin nakolekta, 50,000. Ang ginagawa ng ibang companies, since ganito yung nangyari last year, dagdagan siya. Depende sa policy. It's either additional 5% or additional 2%. Yun ang ginagawa ng companies. From that, ini-estimate nila yung portion ng accounts nila na hindi ma-recover. And that is being reported as your bad debts expense. Another one, depreciation expense. Ito naman yung estimate natin sa paggamit natin ng mga non-current assets natin, except land. In accounting perspective, sabi nila, yung non-current assets natin na ginagamit natin for a long period of time, bumababa yung value niya because of obsolescence. So, nagiging luma siya. Halimbawa yung building. Nagpatayo tayo ng building noong 2020 ng worth na 10 million. 10 million. At the end of 5 years, you do not expect that the cost of that building is 10 million. Kasi luma na siya, may mga na-obsolete na parts ng building. Yun. So, ang sinasabi niya, habang tumatagal, bumababa yung value ng asset. So, ang ginagawa sa accounting, binibigyan ng estimated useful life ang mga non-current asset, except land. Because land is viewed na yung life niya is perpetual, without end, ang buhay ng land. But for buildings, for furnitures, for equipments, binibigyan yan ng estimated useful life. So, depende kung ilan yung years na ini-estimate ng company. So, example, we have a furniture. Binili natin siya at a cost of 100,000. By estimate, bibigyan yan ng 10 years. Useful life. So, in-estimate na 10 years natin magagamit yung furniture and fixtures na 100,000. So, ang mangyayari dyan, 100,000 divided by 10 is equal to 10,000. Every year, nagre-record tayo ng 10,000 na depreciation expense for furniture, 10,000, yun, hanggang maubos yung 10 years. So, year 1, 10,000. Year 2, 10,000. Year 3, 10,000. Ngayon, may nakita kayo sa notes ninyo na contra asset valuation. So, dalawa ulit yun. Contra asset valuation. Accumulated depreciation And then, allowance for doubtful accounts. Bakit siya contra-asset valuation? Contra-asset valuation siya kasi ima-minus mo siya sa asset. Halimbawa, accumulated depreciation ng furniture and fixtures. Ano ang nangyayari dyan? So, itutuloy natin yung example natin. Sabi natin, yung furniture and fixtures natin, may useful life na 10 years. Ang cost niya is 100,000. So, we have calculated that the depreciation expense is 100,000 per year. Ngayon, kapag i-report natin yan, furniture and fixture less accumulated depreciation. Ito ang mag-a-appear sa statement of financial position natin. Less statement of financial position. So, for year 1, 100,000 minus 10,000. 90,000. That is at the end of year 1. Pag year 2, sabi natin 10,000 ng year 1, 10,000 ng year 2. So, ang accumulated depreciation natin at the end of year 2 is 20,000. The value of your furniture and fixtures at the end of year 2 is 80,000. So, ang nangyayari dito sa accumulated depreciation, nag-a-accumulate yung depreciation expense natin per year. So, year 1, 10,000. Year 2, dalawang year, 2 years, 20,000. And then, year 3, tatlong taon, 30,000. Nag-a-accumulate siya. That's why it's accumulated. Kasi nadadagdagan. Hanggang, during year 10, 100,000 na yung accumulated depreciation natin. So, the value of our furniture and fixtures is 0. That is at the end of year 10. So, nag-a-accumulate. Ito naman yung allowance for doubtful accounts, ganun din. Yun. So, halimbawa, nag-estimate tayo ng year 1. Hindi natin makukolekta ngayong year, 5,000. So, ito yung i-report natin sa doubtful accounts expense natin. Year 2, nag-estimate tayo ng 10,000 na expense natin. Hindi na naman natin makukolekta. Ang mangyayari dyan, year 1, allowance for doubtful accounts is 5,000. Year 2, ano ang mangyayari dito? Mag-a-accumulate ulit siya, madadagdagan. Maidadagdag yung 10,000, so magiging 15,000. Sorry. 15,000. Ang mangyayari naman dito, when we are going to present in the statement of financial position, accounts receivable, halimbawa, at the end of year 2, may accounts receivable tayo na 200,000, and then ibabawas natin, less allowance for doubtful accounts. 15,000, that is 185,000. Yun, so kaya siya tinawag na contra-asset. Kasi asset and then babawasan mo siya. So dalawa lang naman ang contra-asset account natin. Allowance for doubtful accounts and then accumulated depreciation. Ibabangga natin yung allowance for doubtful accounts sa receivable, and then yung accumulated depreciation, ibabangga natin sa non-current assets natin, except land. Because land, sabi ko kanina, it is viewed as the one that has perpetual life. Yun.